Hello, hello, welcome back everyone to the Assembly 2015 Winter Edition. This is Ignite, I am Ekop, and we are ready for the third match of the day, which is going to be the losers bracket match, the losers finals to be precise, of Group C. It's going to be Powder versus Wampie. Sweden versus Finland.
Yeah, it seems that they've played already in the same group, so they were the first match. And Wampie won the first match 3-0 over Powder.
Oh yeah, so Wampie definitely won that one in decisive fashion, and Powder is looking to exact some revenge and hopefully get out of the group. But Wampie definitely has something to prove here in front of his hometown crowd.
For sure, yeah.
So, I mean, Wampie
Could be his big shot here.
Wampie, his last game, I mean, after he won 3-0 against Powder, Wampie lost to Vortex, the first one to advance from that group. He lost 3-0 after beating someone 3-0. So right now, Wampie had its ups, had its downs, and now it's a fresh start for him. Once again, a fresh new game against Powder. He needs to bring his A game in order to advance out of this group, because Powder is definitely a strong opponent to face.
As we've seen, there's been a lot of sweeps in the tournament so far. We just saw another one on stream. There was 2 sweeps on stream. And I think that's due to the ban pick phase. Just as World Champion Firebat has said once, the ban and pick phase is probably the biggest factor that decides the winner of a match. And I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, and generally in last Zero standing formats, it's really hard to come back once you got kind of outpicked, or when your counter deck did fail.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of snowballs from there.
It wasn't so much a while back where you had really overpowered Hunter builds and overpowered Zoo builds, where you could see those games, those deck ups specifically doing like 2-0 comebacks and 3-0 comebacks. But not so much nowadays.
Yeah, and we are probably almost ready to jump into the games. Let's ask the players if they are ready. Yes, so they are ready. All right, so we were jumping right into the games. Oh yeah, let's talk about the picks and bans a little bit. Wampie chose to actually go for...
Now we gotta announce lineups first. So
yeah, the lineups first. Yeah.
Wampie has Druid, Warlock, Warrior, and Hunter. So he's not running Rogue, he's not running Mage. Yeah, which is very interesting. And Powder has Druid, Warlock, Paladin, and Rogue.
Oh, there it is. Never mind.
Okay, so Wampie has banned Powder's Paladin, while Powder has banned Wampie's Druid. And we can see that the first game is going to be Hunter versus Rogue.
Yeah, Wampie is bringing his Hunter against Powder's Rogue, and kind of a little bit of mind games, mind gaming Powder, I would say, because Hunter, as we all know, especially the aggressive versions of Hunter, are really effective against Rogues, because often enough Rogues struggle to clear the board without taking too much damage, and then eventually the hero power just does the Rogue in.
Exactly.
But from what we can see right now, especially because Powder does have the coin, he's going to be in a much more favorable position. He has the backstep too.
Yeah, we see a coin, we see a Fan of Knives, we see backstab. That's very good removal right now, but there's no agents.
He could go for an 6-6 Edwin next turn actually, or even 10-10 if he wants to prep a Fan of Knives.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah. But it's interesting that we can see on the Hunter side, he's still running Savannah Highmane in Hunter's Mark. We saw that Gnimsh brought a face Hunter, and he probably thought that it was the most viable option to bring as Hunter. But Wampie seems to believe that mid Hunter is still strong in the meta.
Yeah, I mean, some might say it was just a slight nerf to Undertake. The rest of the deck is obviously still very strong.
Of course, but it's still psychological mind games. When you see the nerf, you almost immediately think that Hunter is going to be almost non-existent in the tournaments. And players that choose to bring the Hunter still are going to have the edge, perhaps, because the others are not so prepared.
Often that is actually true, because Hearthstone decks, with the nature of Hearthstone decks being so small, changing one part of this well-oiled machine that is a deck so often is a game-changing factor. So sometimes a small nerf like this is very game-breaking, but sometimes it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, remember when Unleash was a 2 mana and got down to 3 mana? Everybody stopped playing that for, I don't know how long, but it was like a month or so.
But it turned out to be still good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Freezing Trap.
Freezing Trap, yeah.
Freezing Trap and Farseer definitely a minion that you want to run into the Freezing Trap, much better than running a bigger minion like Azure Drake into it. Farseer especially also good for the Freezing Trap because he has the Battle Cry to heal 3.
However, it doesn't really matter for the Hunter player because...
Oh, Hungry Crab from the Web Spinner. Not the best minion to get.
Yeah, it's always funny to see that.
But at least it enables the Houndmaster on the same turn. So that was pretty good in the end. Could have been worse.
Well, very true, yeah.
And Wampie will have a very sick follow-up with that Savannah High Main next turn.
And there's no sap on the rogue side, for example.
Yeah, sap obviously the best answer possible to the High Main.
The Azure Drake being dropped. He has a preparation for that Eviscerate if he wants to.
Might have to use it just to stem some damage. I mean, there's a lot of damage on the Hunter's side right now. Usually you want to keep the prep for a sprint, but most likely Powder will not have the time to actually go for that clunky card draw turn. Just has to handle the board first. And it's going to be really hard to handle a high main.
Yeah, because there's a low tip follow-up, and that is huge.
Although with the spell damage, actually he can do it right now. He drew the one mana spell that he needed to enable
wow,
Eviscerate,
that's huge.
and then chain Fan of Knives into it to kill the hyenas. That was such an important top deck.
Very true. And does he opt to face tank into the Hungry Crab, or that's also an instinct?
Most likely not.
I guess not, since you drew the flurry now.
Oh man, wow! What a sick sequence of draws for Powder.
Yeah.
Just completely swinging the tempo around in his favor.
It was a major comeback, actually. So drops low side in hero power here. But does he kill the Azure Drake? Yeah, I think he did.
Man, and this was pretty much all possible because Azure Drake survived.
Exactly, yeah.
If he went for the Azure Drake, because he could have killed it, he would have not been in this situation.
And
right
Azure
now.
Drake survived because Powder decided to prep Eviscerate on the Houndmaster rather than the 3-4. Which allowed the Azure to survive. And we see Farseer healing for another 3.
Yeah, the low tap is obviously a really very good draw, a very good play against the Rogue in general. Just denies a lot of good potential plays, but I think the Rogue already made the plays that he needed with the spells. So right now it doesn't really matter.
You see Wampie drawing a bit dead though. He has 2 Unleash in his hand.
Oh, the Tupper, that's going to represent a lot of damage. And double Unleash in hand will prevent Powder from trying to stabilize with minions.
That's 11 damage straight up. Let's see now. Cardathanos. That allows for Tinkers into Flurry. That's actually very good. That's an enabler.
Yeah, this way he doesn't have to sacrifice the Farseer, but he wanted to buff the Farseer so he could attack and swing the game back around in his favor.
If he did, I think he would probably set up lethal for next turn. It would be he'd be 3 damage short.
Yeah, not quite.
Farseer. Yeah.
There's one Unleash. Pretty sure he's going to save the second one. Just kill off the Blood Mage.
Yeah, since he has a Shredder for the curve.
Another Blade Flurry draw, and that's also going to be important. But will he have the time to actually? Well, he might just pop the Assassin's Blade right now with the Blade Flurry because there's already enough damage to represent lethal here.
Let's see what he gets though. Yeah, Phantom Knives could have been good if the drop was a 1 damage, 1 HP minion.
That's true.
But right now he feels forced to flurry, and that feels like such a waste here.
Yeah, if he goes for fan, he cannot flurry anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least, okay, I guess he can. He can with hero power. Yeah, that's true. But he's going for the Assassin's Blade sacrifice.
It's unfortunate. He has no way to lethal the Hunter next turn, and neither does the Hunter. Kill command is not lethal, for example, but
all the Hunter has to do is push the hero power twice, or 3 times, I guess.
What if you see a heal bot coming off the top? That'd be huge. Because the Hunter's running out of fuel right now.
As I7 agent will be able to deal with the Undertaker, but he needs Powder needs to sprint right now. He needs to find that healing that's necessary.
Yeah. And as we can see, Wampie is going to be 1 damage short.
Oh, he did find a heal. Will he play it? already. I mean, he could play the SI7 to prevent the Undertaker from dealing any damage.
Yeah, that's a really tough call, actually. Like, you're preventing 1 damage, but with Force here, you're preventing 2 damage, pretty much. No, you're healing up for 2, actually. Okay.
Does go for the safer route and
Does
plays
he
the
have
Farseer.
lethal next turn? He has 3, 5, 7 with double agent, 8 with a weapon. You can
That's
see
one damage.
Powder's.
1 damage of lethal, right? For Powder.
Yeah, Powder's spraying. There's no kill command, so he's happy about that.
Backstab.
Yeah, 1 damage off lethal. Oh god.
Oh man.
Isn't he? He is.
If he plays another minion, then he dies.
Yeah, that's true. What if...
There's no more eviscerates, right? So he cannot try to top deck an eviscerate with Azure Drake. That's impossible.
I think I see the lethal. You got a Dr. Boom, backstab a Boombot, and Agent the Phase. I think right now, without drawing, that's the best. That's the only lethal.
Yeah, but he might just... Oh man, this is
It's
so rough.
risky, yeah.
It is also so hard to predict what the final card in Hunter's hand is.
There's no Eviscerates left either.
Oh, there's a
man.
prep.
And the game's over here.
Oh man, yeah.
That's really rough. I think you should have gone for my play.
Yeah, because he played that second minion, Wampie is able to have exact lethal with 2 Dogges and the hero power. Which
Yeah.
it was kind
He
of...
could have backstabbed the Farseer. What about that?
He just didn't expect the second Unleash because
Of
often
course,
Hunters only play
course.
1.
But at the same time, like, he has guaranteed lethal with the Azure Drake, and he would lose to anything that dealt damage, but he could counteract the Unleash.
To be fair, this was the expected result when we were going into this matchup because...
Yeah, because of the matchup itself.
Yeah, Hunter is really favored against Rogue usually, and Wampie did a really good read on in that pick phase. It was fairly close, as you have seen, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
it was really close.
It was
and
a very,
Powder
it was
makes
as close
really
as
good calls. Yeah.
yeah, it was as close as it gets, and it was also a little bit of luck involved on Powder's side because he really needed that 1 mana spell to enable the clear on the hyena.
Yeah,
on
that
the high
poison
main.
top deck.
That was really crucial, but still, it came down to the wire, and in the end, Hunter prevailed.
That one
nonetheless.
top deck was the thing that allowed him to actually struggle for the win.